Mom. 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 Mama. Mama. Mama.
Okay, guys, you know what? Mama needs a timeout.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 4. Where is the love? And are we really still doing that?
Where is the love? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'd still be doing Justin. That's not a question, but I digress. So this week's episode is focusing on romance or intimacy or just plain old sex. I mean, whatever it is you and your partners are doing to keep it alive in the marriage.
To keep the spark alive.
Yeah. I'm like a dim, like, when the spark is gone and the fire's dwindled down, it's like those embers left. That's kind of where my...
Hey, embers are still...
I mean, I'm not saying
they're smoldering.
You can't still get burned. I'm just saying, it's not as poppin' as it used to be sometimes. But again, I have 2 small kids, so it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Try with 3.
Oh, God. See, that's why I got fixed.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Well,
I'm on a 10-year plan, so...
Yeah, but I mean, you guys talk about having babies all the time.
Oh, yeah, for Father's Day, that's what he wanted. He wanted to have another baby.
But see, no. He didn't want to have it. He wanted you to have
that
another
is true.
baby.
Yes.
Because if he had to have a baby, there would be no more babies.
That is true. Anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I guess that kind of leads into our first, discussion about it is,
okay,
where's romance currently on your to-do list?
Oh, wow. I'm going to be honest, it's not on the to-do list.
Yeah.
I mean, is it on anyone's to-do list at this point?
It's a question because some people actually do make it a
or schedule
number
it.
one. Yeah, scheduling. It's funny, my therapist, that was one of the things she recommended to me and Mr. D is to scheduling. She said, look, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But if you schedule it, I mean, what does it matter if it's scheduled or not?
But you know what? We actually tried that. After our first baby, we tried scheduling it. And it didn't work for us.
It didn't?
It literally felt forced. It was just like, it was not great.
No.
We tried doing the 100-day streak thing. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
After day 5, we were done.
Just you or both of you?
Both of us. We were done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds great in theory, but when it's no longer a surprise or something, you just kind of get used to it and you're like, oh, here we go again. I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but
yeah. This whole thing.
Yeah. I hope he's not thinking that. Jeez.
Well, I hope he isn't either, but
Oh my God. But yeah, scheduling that. I'm not a fan.
But see, that's mainly sex.
Okay.
But romance is actually putting back the intimacy or making the intimacy. So to me, sex is just one version of intimacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, just taking time to have a date night or
But sex without intimacy... Going back to the scheduling, if you don't have that intimacy and you have sex scheduled, that's just, I don't know.
Just a hooker? I don't.
Not even. I mean.
Oh yeah, you're not getting paid.
Like a turkey baster. And that's true. Yeah, I'm not getting paid. But I see what you're saying. I mean, there is a big difference between sex, just the physical act of sex, versus intimacy. I get that.
I guess for us.
I mean, sometimes you have an itch that just needs to be scratched.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can also buy that scratcher for $59.95 off of Amazon. So, I mean, that necessarily isn't.
Are we going to have to put the E for explicit on this episode?
Look, I didn't say what I'm buying. I'm just saying it's a scratcher, okay?
A $59 back.
The $59
scratcher.
Back, air quote, massager. But I guess for me, I think scheduling that intimacy. Okay, maybe not scheduling. I don't want intimacy scheduled, but bringing forth the intimacy. And I do think, yes, for me, I need to feel like I'm making love as trust me, that's made me almost want to throw up in my mouth.
I did. I
like,
gagged a little.
saying that. But I don't want to just get the poke in the back and, and have to give 5-10 minutes to the situation and go back to sleep. Like, I want actual, like, making out a little bit. I want a little first base. I don't want to be looked in the eyes, though. That's just my thing. Just don't look at me in the eyes.
What?
I don't know.
Are you talking about your husband?
Yeah, anybody. That's just creepy. Like, you,
Well, not any. Yeah, anybody.
okay, you and
is
Big
creepy.
Daddy just can stare at each other in the eyes. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's what
And how many people
husbands and wives do.
have
don't
you
they?
murdered before you do that? Because it's just
What?
so weird.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. That's just like serial killer stuff to me.
We don't stare each other down. Well,
I feel like
actually,
you're just
sometimes we do.
smizing each other the whole time.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
smiling with my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? The scheduling thing. Like,
Yeah.
I say I'm not a big on the scheduling, but I can kind of see where tasks,
Yes.
little love tasks. I can
Okay,
see where
I dig that.
Yeah, little, like, where that could be useful. Kind of like, oh gosh, I know this is going to sound super dorky, but the movie Fireproof.
Oh, God, this again.
What? Oh, I've told you about this movie?
Yeah, but you haven't told our audience. So
My-
go on.
Our
go for it.
audience, I'm sure, has seen this movie.
Yeah,
and
I'm
knows
number one
the
on the
value
list.
of this movie, Fireproof, starring Kirk Cameron. And
Oh, my, yeah. Oh, my
it's a good movie. Even my husband likes the movie.
Mm.
Of course, he is probably more of a romantic than I am. But no, they have this. They find this book, and it tells them that every day they have to do a certain task. I can't remember. It's been like
act of love or something.
no little things. Like, I think making her coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's nice.
The little things like that. And at first it seems
Yeah.
really dumb. But
No.
then after a while, those little things that you do, they accumulate and they do mean something.
I agree.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
can see that. I can see where that could be really beneficial. I don't, again, the scheduling, but love tasks. I
Yeah.
like that.
You know what? I like that because my love language is like acts of
Wait,
love or something.
So I get made fun of for Fireproof, but the 5 love languages is okay to talk about?
Look, my therapist, okay? Let's just start off
Let's
with
just
that.
blame your
Even though
Hey,
I did I did the quiz
lent
before
that book
that.
to you
Yeah.
way before your therapist
That's true.
mentioned it.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. So your love language.
Yes, my love language is acts of love. I don't know. I like action.
Sexual acts.
No, it's more like taking the trash out,
Okay.
doing the dishes, making dinner.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a meal on a consistent basis and not act like you just, found oil in the middle of our kitchen,
Yeah.
then that would actually be a big turn on for me.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my gosh, you care. This family can eat without me having to physically go in there every single time of the day and make a meal. Like, just contributing helps. That's so sexy. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, no, I do. I know exactly what you mean.
That would push that whole romance up the
The
to-do list. Yeah, because it would lessen the other to-dos down.
That's actually true. You know what? That is
Yeah.
true. You get rid of if they would help us get rid of some of those to-do things on our list, then that could move up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think actually my love language is also acts of love or kindness or whatever it is.
Acts in itself.
Just action.
Yes,
Yeah.
action.
I know some people they need
Because if
they
you
need
ain't
words.
doing action, you ain't getting action. No, yeah. That's how it is for my Mr. D.
Okay.
He likes, like, I don't know, blah blah love. I don't know.
The complete opposite. of you,
Yeah, basically. So he wants to talk about it, and I want him to do it.
My husband, I believe his love language was touch. Something with touch. I mean, which didn't surprise me at all.
We are
'cause
so ripping these love languages apart. I mean, we're really not
We
doing them
probably-
any
no,
justice.
we're not. It's actually a really good book.
It's really
people.
great. Yeah, it's good to help identify with too.
Don't go by what we're saying, but
Remember, we drink on this podcast.
that is true. Hey man, this is our wine out.
We're literally locked in your room drinking wine, like in a timeout.
Well, my husband is watching my children, and your husband's watching yours, so...
Well, mine's asleep, so what is he really watching besides car shows?
Well, whatever works.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. But, so, okay. So, yeah. So, basically, sex is not on the to-do list, is what we just said.
What about your husband's?
Actually, it is on my husband's to-do list, but, I mean, come on, big surprise there.
Actually.
What?
Well, for me, Mr. D is not... I wouldn't say it's number one on his list. I do think it's, like, what do we need to do within these next couple of weeks, but it's not, like, an everyday item. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, but sometimes, honestly, at this point, with an infant and or a toddler and a young kid, it's basically sleep or sex.
Exactly.
And right now, I'm telling you, sleep is going to win. Yep,
exactly.
Sleep will win. We tease about running away and getting a hotel room to take a nap.
To take a hotel nap.
To take the deepest, dirtiest,
hotel nap.
Snuggling down nap you've ever had in your life.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's amazing in my head, though.
Oh, yeah.
I play it over and over again.
Your fantasy.
Yeah. Like a porn, but not with the sex in it. But like, hey, I'm here to check in. Are you? I got the room right here. Ooh, fluffy pillows.
You've thought about this way too much.
I mean, look, and they take a nice relaxing nap together. What's so wrong with that? And they wake up refreshed. They grab a little something to eat.
You know what? I bet there is porn out there like that.
Would like the guy have like one of those voices, like a Morgan Freeman voice, like, yeah.
What?
Baby, this is where you lay down. One.
Morgan Freeman
sheep.
doesn't sound like that.
2 sheep. 3 sheep.
What the hell?
He's counting sheep. That's
Morgan
like his
Freeman.
sexy. Okay, it's not Morgan Freeman, but it's my Morgan Freeman.
That's not anyone's Morgan Freeman. That's horrible. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Your husband.
Husband.
And he's an everydayer.
No, he used to be. I think he still actually would be if we didn't have 3 children. Yeah, I remember when we were in our 20s, before we had kids, if we skipped more than one day, he actually worried. He actually was concerned.
Oh, wow.
That I was losing interest in him. He's weird. He's a weird one. Now he keeps us on track at least twice a week, which is good.
Keeps you on track.
Yeah, he does. He
does.
does.
So scheduled.
Yeah, but he always well, he doesn't schedule it. It's just kind of like, hey, we haven't done it in 5 days. Let's do this.
Yeah, but again, we're focusing on sex. What about romance?
Yeah, and see, that's the part where he...
That's not on the to-do list.
Yes, exactly. I mean, no, he's good about it sometimes, but for him, the romance is not as important as the sex. And then, of course, for me, it's
the
like,
romance
don't expect sex without romance.
Putting some work into
it. Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I think with Mr. D, it's a good balance with us as well too. When in the beginning, that kind of leads into our next question. How has the romance changed throughout the years? I know for me, or for us, I was much more of the like, okay, it's been 3 days. Like anything less than 3 days was unacceptable.
Are you talking about romance or sex?
Both. Both, yeah. Okay. But at the same time, we didn't have children then, and we could really focus on each other. So the romance was there.
That's true.
He would buy me fake mustaches. He would buy me cards.
What the hell?
You don't like a good fake mustache? Tell me what girl doesn't love a good fake mustache? And I'll
wait. So were they for you or for your husband?
They were mine. He bought them for me
to wear for him.
I just wore them for me. Man, now you're making me feel shameful about my love for mustaches.
Fake mustaches.
Look, everybody has their thing, okay? I love fake mustaches.
Actually, you do. I know that. That's just funny. What was the question again?
How has romance changed during the years?
So, back before we had kids, the romance was always there before kids. Like, I don't think we had to really put any effort into it. It just was always there because it's like, you're either focusing on yourself or you're focusing on your lover.
Yeah.
So we really never needed romance. It was just kind of all about the sex. And now the romance... Okay, you know what? I will say we do not schedule sex, but we do kind of sort of schedule in romance.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't think about that until now. So, for example, one thing we do...
Oh, gosh. Does it involve fake mustaches?
No, it does not.
I'm just throwing it out there. Get you some fake mustaches. It'll make a difference. Huge difference.
So one thing we do is we take showers together.
Yeah, we do that too.
Okay, funny thing, maybe you're in the same boat. Showers have nothing to do with sex when you're parents. At least not for us.
No, and I'm sorry, shower sex is gross. Like, it's difficult.
It's hard.
Like, it's a lot of work, then you got the hot water coming down you, one's bent over,
Water's
and
not
you're just like...
a good lubricant.
No,
That's
it's
the thing.
not. And it dries your skin out. And then you're hanging out there because you're bent over and you're getting drying.
Yeah, one person's in the water and one person's in the cold spot.
Can we just say it's basically a risk? Can we say that? It's a risk being
it is
slippy.
a hazard.
It's a very big hazard with that slippery slope.
But yeah, we take showers because that's really just like the only time we can kind of get to talk. That's really sad.
No, I get it.
But
same for us.
That's pretty much when we have our conversations, and that's our alone time away from the kids. It's so sad. So I don't even know if that counts as romance because
it does, because
really
it's an intimate. You're being intimate with each other. You know what I mean? Like that's I consider it, because that's something that we do together. You're vulnerable in that state. I mean, you're fully naked. You can see every nook and cranny. Mm-hmm. My therapist had charged us with an assignment.
Oh, okay.
I know. She wanted us to wash each other's bodies and hair to be more intimate with each other. That creeped me the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we actually do that, but just because we just do.
I've heard of peeing in the shower, but not doo-dooing. Actually, a little bee me christen the bathtub with the poo-poo. Yeah. Nothing like frantically taking your child out of the bathwater and figuring out how to scoop out some poop.
Oh man, that's a milestone right there.
Yeah.
But no, we wash each other's backs, but we don't really do it to be intimate. We just do it.
What if you wash? Do y'all wash each other
anymore? What?
Each other's hair.
Ew, no.
Isn't that weird? That's what she wanted us to do. I mean, I love
hair?
my therapist. I want to say this right now.
Okay.
I love my therapist. And I told her that was the creepiest thing she's ever said to me.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
Yeah, she just started laughing.
Okay.
Because I have very big intimacy issues.
Well, not just that, hair in general. Like, I don't even like washing my own hair, so...
The other thing was because again, we did mention about looking into each other's eyes was a little creepy.
Okay.
She said to look into the mirror and have a conversation because we'd have to be looking at each other in the eyes.
Is that because you can't look each other in the... Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, to me, that's creepier than just looking at each other in the eyes. It's really not that hard.
Oh, God, it's so... I can't do that, no.
But it's not like you're staring down each other. You're just looking at each other.
That's so vulnerable.
Well, how do you talk to your husband then if you don't look at him?
I kind of dart my eyes around sometimes. It's not like a full-on, like, Care Bear stare down in this situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, we look at each other, but after the appropriate, 3 to 5 seconds, we look away, or we look back, or you know what I mean? Like, seconds?
Yeah, that's a long time.
3 to 5 seconds.
To look in somebody's eyes? Yes.
You're grossing me out now. Now I don't even want to look at them. Now I'm just going to have my hand up across my eyes all the time.
Now every time I want to have a conversation with my husband, I'm going to tell him, Care Bear stare!
But make sure you wear your mustache too.
Oh, God. My poor husband. He's probably going to be sorry that we started this podcast.
He's going to dig the mustache to a level that you won't even know.
No.
Anyways.
Okay.
Coming back. So, yeah, I think the difference for us and for you too, as you mentioned, is that the romance wasn't necessarily something you had to focus on because it was always there.
Okay. But also, you know what? So the romance, you asked how it changed, right?
Sure.
The romance has also changed in that years ago, again, before kids, and even after our first, it was always
That
physical.
should be BK.
What's BK?
You know, in the Bible, how it's AD, BC and AD or whatever it is? Like, it should
BK.
be
Before
BK
kids.
and AK.
I love that. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
So BK, before kids, romance consisted of usually purely sexual, physical energy.
Okay.
Whereas now, romance consists of something as simple as a thank you or
Yeah, it's
an
more
appreciation.
simplistic. Yes.
Gratitude.
Yeah. Taking the trash out and putting the garbage can back
And
with a new trash bag in it.
And thanking that person for doing it. And I remember I used to kind of rebel against that. Well, why should I thank my husband for doing something he's supposed to be doing anyway? But,
Yeah.
I mean, he needs that. Men,
Yeah.
I think we all need that, but especially men. I think they
Yeah.
really need that constant
Ugh. It's like their little fluffer.
praise. What?
It's
Well,
like
you
their
know what?
fluffer.
Hey, fine. If that's their fluffer, that's fine. Because him doing housework is my
Yeah.
fluffer.
Yeah, like fluffs
So
you.
there you go.
See, exactly.
So
I get
if
it.
a compliment is what fluffs him up, hey, that's fine with me.
It's like Mr. D. We're doing the renovations in our house, as you know.
Okay.
He's been taking his time on it, which has irked the hell out of me. But when he finally he completed one of the bigger tasks of that project,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I went to him and I said, you know what, babe, thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it. Thank you for putting that time and effort into it, because it is. I mean, he saved us, one, money by doing it. Two, it showed his craft and his caring, because he's wanting to make his house beautiful for his family. And three, it's what he loves to do. Like,
love that,
he
yeah.
really enjoys, you know, doing with his hands.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It also takes some effort on your part
Yeah.
to focus on those good things. Because it's very easy, I think. I know for me it is. It's very easy. So, for example, my husband loves to make dinner, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, he just brought us nacho cheese.
Yes, he did, and it's just sitting there. But
Yeah.
my husband loves to cook, and he's a very, very good cook.
Yeah.
But then he leaves the kitchen a giant mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to just tell him, you know what? Don't bother cooking, because you're just gonna leave a mess in the kitchen. And
Wow.
It's like, well, yeah, I know. Well, you know how I am.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so now I try instead. You know what? I have a wonderful husband who loves to cook homemade meals for me
Yeah.
and for our children, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Now I'm going to politely ask him to help me clean up. In your example, what you're just talking about with your husband, you said it's taken him longer than expected.
Ugh.
It irked you,
Yes.
but you didn't tell him that.
Mm,
Instead,
not in that moment. Let's just say that.
no, so you complimented your husband on what he did right. And I
Yeah.
think that is also part of romance, especially being married.
You know, and I think that kind of leads into my other question, like, how has our romantic lives evolved from where they were in the beginning, where it was so effortless?
So how has romance evolved?
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to say it devolved.
It went extinct.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, little embers.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. It's a smoldering embers at this point.
But you
And
know the good thing about smoldering embers?
what?
You put a little
Fan on the
air
flame,
on that,
A little fluff.
and it builds that flame right back up
That's
again.
true.
You
That
pay a
is
little
true.
attention to it, and that flame will go up.
It goes right up. Well,
And
sometimes.
something else too.
But you know, my husband, he will text me every day, and it's funny because sometimes I get annoyed by it. He'll text me every day, you know, I love you. I hope you have a good day. Have that kind of thing. Kissy faces, you know.
Yeah,
cute
that's
stuff.
sweet.
It is. It's really sweet. But it's funny because sometimes I kind of roll my eyes at it, but then I notice on the days I don't get a text, I'm like, what's wrong? Why didn't I get a text?
Aww.
So we try to do that. We try to text each other every day. I love you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate all you do. That kind of thing. We go back and forth with that.
That's so sweet.
Well, you guys do that too, don't you?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
No, we do. I mean, we text, but I think the difference with us is that my husband works in the same
Yeah. You guys
place.
see each other every day, all day.
We leave the house together. We drop the kids off together. We drive to work together. We eat lunch together. We drive to pick up the kids together. We come home together.
You really don't need to text each other.
Exactly. I think that would be the negative way of looking at it, but if we wanted to put the positive, I'm lucky enough to go every morning with the person I love and talk to them beginning of the day before when I drop our beautiful children off. I get 10 minutes alone with my husband and get to talk to him about the things that we need to do. We get one-on-one time. I get to eat lunch with the person that I love. It's a little mini date every day.
Every day.
And then at the end of the day, again, I get to wrap my day up with that person for 10 minutes, going and picking up our beautiful children and then bringing them home.
That is beautifully, beautifully put. Yeah. But it sounds horrendous.
It is. But it's awesome, too. I mean, I can't complain.
I'd murder my husband if I had to see him every single
but you guys, that's the difference for you guys because he works shift work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be a single mom at times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My husband will work, and it varies, but sometimes he has to work evenings. He used to have to work early bird shifts, which he really doesn't do a whole lot anymore. Mm-hmm. And then just depending on the scope of his duties at work, sometimes his phone is going off the hook. It's just, it's always changing. But the funny thing is, there are times when we do have the same schedule. So like say 8 to 5. So we do see each other. We do have the same schedule. The funny thing is we usually end up fighting more because then it becomes, well, I took the kids to school this morning, so you pick them up. Well, I did that. Well, I changed this diaper. Well, so it's funny because we actually almost fight more. And then I've said this before. I don't know if I've said this to you. It seems like we're worse parents when we're together.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's like, well, he can get it.
It's
she
tit
can
for
get
tat.
it. Yes, it's bad. So we're actually kind of more romantic when he ends up doing the shift work. Because, I know he's physically not there, so I know I have to do it. But then I'm also missing him and thinking, I wish he was here with me.
For me, it's difficult at times because we are so in sync with everything that we do. But when he's not there, I miss him. Yeah, like he's the first person that I want to be there with. So I mean, it's good, and I think that's where our romance has changed or evolved to, is that we appreciate each other more now. Yeah, it doesn't need to be flowers and chocolates and romantic dates away every time. But us going to Target or Walmart or the grocery store, or you know what I mean? Like running errands without the kids have become our new date nights.
Yes. No, I know exactly what you mean. Even going to the grocery store.
Yes.
Going grocery shopping together without the kids.
Exactly.
It's really sad.
But it's nice. Like that time from after we drop the kids off at school and we're on our way to work, that's when we really get to like talk to each other. And it's really helped connect us on a different level. Yeah. And I think, though I do like flowers and I do like romance,
I hope Mr. D is listening,
more than I probably led on to when we first met. It's still nice to have those little intimate moments when we can.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And another thing is, it's nice to have someone that, I know there are times where I'm like, you know what, babe, I just need to talk. Yeah. I don't care if you're listening, just let me talk. And he does. And he sits there quietly, and I don't know if he's listening or if he's not listening, but he just sits there and supports me, basically. It's so nice to have that, because I know we've had this happen before. We want to help each other. So if I tell you something that's going wrong or that's something stressful,
a difficulty that you're
exactly.
With. Yeah.
You as a friend want to help me get through it, and vice versa. I know I've done that
fixer.
With you. That's right, you're a fixer, and me too. It's hard for us to just sit there and just listen without wanting to
solve the problem.
Yeah, but I think also that might just be a maternal thing. You want to help people, you want to solve the problem. Whereas my husband can just sit there and kind of take it at face value. I mean, of course, it depends on what it is, but for the most part, especially when it has to do with work, I mean, he knows he can't do anything, but just him sitting there and listening to it, or again, pretending to, whatever he's doing, he's probably thinking of wrestling in his head, and that's fine. But it's so nice to just be able to come and be able to vent to somebody at the end of the day, and then just move on.
Of course,
and that's it. It's great.
And I think that's where we've evolved too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could I get a little bit more of romance? Yeah. Could my husband get a little bit more sex? Of course. Could we screw it all and get 8 hours of sleep? Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
But, you know, it is what it is. And I do know that our time right now is temporary, being parents of young children. Eventually they're going to grow into young adults and leave us high and dry. And we're just going to be two old people staring each other in the face.
I keep hearing about this happening.
I know, it sounds like a mythical land,
right? It really does. I don't believe it.
Wait, they leave.
When?
And I don't have to wipe anyone's ass anymore. I'm not responsible for how they feed themselves.
What?
Where is this mythical land you speak of? And do I have to go through a wardrobe to get there? I don't understand. Yeah. Can you give me the directions?
Yeah, I hate that. I'm always hearing that. Oh, you're going to miss it someday.
I hear that crap too, and
all
I'm
the
like,
time.
oh, well, I'm not going to miss it right now because that's what I fucking want is to be able to enjoy my life without the demands of small dictators telling me what to do every time.
Without Winkies dictating your life.
Well, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want Winkies dictating my life anymore.
Yep.
Anyways, moving forward. So what do you think you could do to keep your spark alive? How can you, as the wife in this,
You know what I mean?
I'm
going to say what my husband tells me. I could initiate sex more often, I guess.
Oh, that sounds like so much work.
I know, it really is. And when you have to...
What's the initiation on the other end at this point? Again, a little poke in the back? Like...
He would... No, he I told you, his love language is touching. He is a toucher, a touchy-feely person. So...
I'm a toucher.
You're a fixer and he's a toucher.
Oh, God.
And he's always wanting me to touch his arms or touch his chest or he'll be like, babe, feel this, babe. I'm just like, I don't want to touch you. Go away.
Please note to the listener, she was touching her chest area, not somewhere else that it could be misconstrued for.
What?
They couldn't see you go like this on your chest.
I said chest, didn't I? Arms,
no.
Chest? I could have sworn I said
you
chest.
said that in the beginning, but then you're all, babe, touch this.
Oh. Well, he does tell me to touch that too, so there you go.
Well.
But no, I mean, he tells me that I could initiate more, and I guess that's what he means is by initiating. But I'm tired.
I know.
I'm tired. And I really don't feel like touching anybody right now. I'm just like, leave me alone.
Tell him to touch himself.
I know, really. I do tell him that. Like, go touch yourself. I'll give you, I will leave the room if you need me to. I mean, I encourage that.
It's all about self-love.
It really is. Go love yourself.
For me, I guess what I could do is honestly just, my husband feels as if I don't listen as well as I could. I feel bad because I realize what he's saying. He basically wants me to pay more attention to him and spoil him like we did in the beginning. I did, at least.
Wow, your husband's romantic.
I'm not going, I added the spoiling, but he would say he wants me to be more attentive to his needs, I think. As I mentioned before in previous episodes, I'm severely ADD, so when he does start talking to me, especially about things that he's interested in, and I know this is going to make me sound like, a horrible wife, but I zone out. I don't mean to. It's just my brain. And I zone out. I want to like put a little warning on this. Like, I zone out on everybody. It's not just my husband. Like, I'm not just saying like, oh, I'm zoning out on you, Mr. D, because you're talking about mundane things that I have no interest in. It's No, I zone out on anybody because that's just the way my brain works.
But, okay. Not so much in your defense, but what is he talking about that he wants you to...
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. So
the
my
grass.
husband...
He's big into the grass. Not the medical marijuana type, because or marijuana, not even medical. Just normal old grass.
Like the difference between crabgrass and Johnson grass.
And what we need to do to get the grass, and like how he's going to kill our current grass, which is all just weeds. But then he also did soil testing to make sure that the grass that he plants down, because we can't do seeds, we have to do pallets, because the kind of grass that I want.
Wait. So you do listen to him then?
This is not just one conversation that I'm doing. This is years of conversation that I've picked up throughout the time. But the sad thing is, it's a repeat of the same thing that I am talking about, and how he wants to irrigate the backyard before he puts down the grass, and that he doesn't want the slope because we have puddles in certain areas. Guys, I'm serious. Please wake up now, because I'm pretty sure you have now zoned out.
Well, no, and the reason I asked that, I understand what your husband's saying. He wants you, because you do. I have seen you. You do zone out on people, and I think we're just kind of used to it at this point.
Yeah.
But there are just some topics that
thank you.
I don't care about. So, like my husband, when he starts talking about wrestling, football, basketball, comics, movies,
this is getting long.
Pretty much, yeah.
Can he talk about anything?
He can talk about it. I just probably won't listen to it. But you know what? He knows that. And he'll tell me, babe, like, if it's something that he really wants me to pay attention to, he'll let me know. But for the most part, he knows I don't care.
Yeah.
He knows I don't care, and I care about him.
It's like you said about him. Like, you just want him to listen to you. You don't care if he's listening.
Actually listening, yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
need
want
to talk.
to vent to somebody. Yeah. So, I guess wrapping up on this, I think us paying attention, like you said, maybe doing more of the touching. I think, again, it's kind of realizing that romance and intimacy and sex may not all be the same thing, but making sure that we prioritize and kind of include it within our daily lives.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, balance, and making sure that stays important, because one day we're not going to be working. We'll be retired. We're not going to be...
When?
Again, it's one of those fantasy land.
Like, when is this happening?
Yeah. We'll be retired and just staring at this other person, not directly in the eyes, for my sake. And then the kids will leave us too. So it's just going to be you and...
When is this fantasy happening?
I don't know, but apparently we'll get a lot of sleep in it too.
Right.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that sometimes it's very easy to get stuck on what's not being done for you. But if you put forward what you're missing to your significant other, then that can help bring them, closer to you as well.
Actually, you know what? Okay, so I am going to say I have learned my husband cannot read my mind.
Yeah.
You have to be, especially with men, you have to tell them what you need.
Yep.
You have to tell them. You have to tell them.
Yeah, you do.
And I know it drives me nuts, because he should know at this point. We've been married, 15 years? I can't remember anymore. He should know by now what I want or what I need, but no, he doesn't. So I just have gotten to the point where I have to tell him. Even if it's taking out the trash, I need to tell him, or I need to ask him.
Exactly. You can't just assume.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, is making that effort and just being direct with what you want, and vice versa. Hopefully they can take lead in that as well and make an effort and tell them what they want, because what may work for you, such as with me, it's the acts of service, may not work for them, such as with Mr. D. I don't know, anything else that you... Oh, you know what we didn't do in the beginning of this episode?
What?
We didn't check in with each other. Why don't we wrap up with that then?
Sure.
So what was your high this week?
Okay, so actually I got a really cool text out of the blue from my old college roommate, which I'm so excited about. Yes, she texted me, and she's actually coming over tomorrow with her family. So I'm
That's
really
cool.
excited. Yeah, we haven't seen each other in probably about 5 years or so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. That was my high for the week. Low for the week.
Having to clean your house to prepare for the
Yes!
friend you haven't seen in 5 years.
You know me so well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, no. I have to put it out there to my husband. He got on his hands and knees and literally scrubbed our...
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, keeping that spark alive, man, that did it.
So you got on your hands and knees?
Can we say that on this podcast?
I think we're talking about love, so yeah.
Well.
It's a loving hands and knees. It's not like 50 Shades of Grey or anything. Well, even then that was loving.
It kind of is. But anyway, yes, so he got rewarded. Hi, my friend coming to visit, low, cleaning the house. But that's not a really bad low, so.
No.
Yeah.
For me, my high was going to my therapist this week. I actually am fresh out of her office today. You know, I've been kind of wanting to stay in the funk as we talked about.
That stupid funk, man.
Yeah, so.
It's enticing.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so warm and cozy. So that was my high, is being able to go and kind of process some of the things that we've been dealing with this last week regarding, you know, my mother-in-law situation and just everyday stressors. Let me see. My low would be not being the one that's getting to eat all the delicious food you're making that I've seen in your kitchen. And feeling a little insulted that that's never been done for me before.
I haven't seen her in 5 years, and she's bringing her family.
Is what marinated corn overnight gets, then I'll see you in 2023.
Aw. I will make you some corn.
Little hurt. So. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know we were kind of all over the place a little bit with the love, but you know what? Love is messy.
I was going to say, love does that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. So I hope, give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. What do you do to keep the love alive? Because maybe we can incorporate that in our love packages. No, that doesn't sound right. But I hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to talking to you guys next week.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Cheers.
He's all about the touch.
All about the touch. Well,
you got the touch.
Oh gosh.
The power.
I really don't know what you're singing right now.
It's from the Transformers movie. Yeah. You're an 80s kid. How do you not know that?
I was born in the 80s. I did not grow up in the 80s.
When did the Transformers movie come out? Did it come out in the 90s?
The
one where Optimus Prime dies? It was a big deal. Whatever.